Okay, and I think we're ready to go into the draft now. Yeah, here we start off with a Saiyaban. Uh, I think, well, let's see. Yeah, Saya, Rengar, and Nami coming out as the first bands. I think so I didn't study all the champion selects before, and I have no cheat sheet on what they actually picked. But I seem to remember both Saya and Nami being picked quite a lot so far, and the maybe disrespect band, maybe almost against Weaves out with the Iron Rengar. Was that the game that they played, Iron Rengar?
Yes, that was the first game versus Get,
Ah, yeah. Okay,
where they
right.
played the Iron mid lane. Oh, we're gonna see a first pick Renata, which is not something I've actually seen too much. Renata seems to be a pretty strong champion, but very underrated for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the ult has massive potential to uh, be very useful, especially if the people are fed, them just hitting themselves until until their entire team dies, and you'll have a lot of time to just like try and counterattack. But also the Jinx and Lulu coming out. Uh,
Yes. Maybe we can see a repeat of what happened with LCS with his Jinx pick, but I severely doubt it. Although Jinx and Lulu is still a very strong combo, and Jinx just as a carry is very potent.
exactly. I think maybe this was a couple of patches ago, but weren't Jinx, Saya the kind of the only two picks you kind of had? But maybe now Aphelios is fine as well. I don't know how great Renata Aphelios is, but maybe it's
I think it can work. I do think that if you just generally need a little bit more supportive, like enchanters, or someone to help him, because he really only has his auto attacks. But I do think Renata can actually save his life, and her shield is nothing to be scoffed at. Actually, it's pretty big.
exactly. And we also see the Viego, probably the jungle Viego coming out as well. As
Oh.
the
The side,
jungler.
the side
Yeah,
of Gotland Guardians also seems to be locking in that set top lane and then banning GP, as I do believe that's a kind of rough lane for set to deal with, as GP is a pseudo range top laner.
exactly. Let's see. Weebs out now missing their top and mid lane, while Gotland Guardians missing their jungle and mid lane. We'll see if Gotland Guardian decides to save their mid lane pick for last. But also the feared Corki actually getting banned, and the same with or still the Cillian ban. Maybe targeting someone or just trying to remove the all of the support that they might have with Renata and Cillian.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's actually their mid laner that. Let me just check on their op.gg. I think there's somebody in. Oh, now I'm just trying to think. We thought to actually play Cillian, but maybe they were scared of a Cillian mid lane that would be very strong with both Renata and Aphelios. But we can also see that the Zoe, Malphite Zoe, did get eventually banned.
Exactly. And now with the Sinsaw coming up as well, I don't think we'll see the the feared Graves mid lane. With them having both AD in top and jungle, as well as AD carry. But yeah, but
Oh,
the Veigar getting hovered at least for now.
yeah.
Yeah, and the
Now they
Veigar
pick.
is locked in.
Yeah, this is a very interesting pick for sure. It did very well the game that it was picked, I believe, versus. I think it was Justice that picked it.
Yeah,
Uh, Even though they didn't manage to pull out the win, the Veigar got very very strong, and it just goes to show how strong the champion can really be. And the cage is still such a strong utility spell.
exactly. And now maybe even the Wukong coming up. The Wukong Renata combo, maybe. I don't know. Seems kind of good since you can just like Wukong ulted them, and then Renata ult has time to catch up to make them hit each other. But Vladimir, I think that's the first Vladimir so far.
Yes, well, at least from the streamed games as well. We've not
Yeah.
been streaming any other games, which is implied with the stream. Anyways,
Yeah,
this
we
is
haven't streamed any other games than the streamed games.
but yeah, this Vladimir is probably going mid lane as well, which is a bit unorthodox. There's still some does it, but I do believe that Vladimir top lane is a bit more common. But it might also be very old, so let me just check up real quick.
Yep. But I think Gotland Guardians actually went through with just picking a front-to-back comp. I think Jinx Lulu can be quite self-sufficient in the backlines, especially with Weebs out not having... Like, Wukong is very good still, but only a Wukong Jinx and Lulu should be able to deal with. And then Seth Xinshao and Vladimir being able to dive, or even the Xinshao helping out with the backline, and just Seth and Vladimir coming out. But no full tank from the side of Weebs out that Seth can just ult into ult into the team. Yeah.
Indeed.
Get that massive damage.
I do think though that the set is pretty good at taking away the threats like Viego and Wukong, because their main engage is probably going to be from this Wukong, and if Seth just ults him away, that is it's kind of hard for Wukong to re-engage after that. But Weebs out could also just be playing with that Renata ulti, trying to bait them into taking a fight or engaging onto them to then re-engage with the Renata ulti, which is so powerful.
Exactly.
And yeah, no, this will be the final comp for the game.
Gonna be a couple of minutes behind from like actual starting time plus the 3 minutes. But we got on a rift, and that's the most important part.
And we can see that it actually does look like Weebs out is doing a more traditional just 5-point split to see where people might invade and just get control over the map. And it looks like both teams will not do anything too spicy this early game.
Exactly. They'll just chill around, but it seems like there will be maybe a blue buff start, but I think the Viego might just rotate around when it's like 20 seconds left. But some holes in the like vision defense from the side of Gotland Guardians, this time not getting punished. But I think the Vladimir should stand around the red side entry, and either Xinshao or like Lulu or someone should stand on the like the I don't know, the bush next to blue buff, but on the left side. But we'll not see anything happening, and the Viego does indeed go back to the red buff.
Yeah, so in that it's very common to see that junglers actually take that role, and then after like they go back to the whichever buffs they want afterwards, as there's quite a lot of time before the game starts. And here we'll probably see a bit more safer start of the game from the side of Gotland Guardians, as they are the team with the Jinx and the Vladimir. So I do believe that they're completely content just maybe taking a bit slow, trying to farm to late game, and then doing a lot of damage when they eventually hit their power spikes.
Yeah, exactly as you said, we're just probably going to chill now, but actually a early level 2 from Gotland Guardian does quite a lot of damage on Beanie, which means that they'll actually have presence or like prio in this lane, which is very nice for them, since yeah, as you said, they will want to scale for quite some time.
We can also see a very good trade from the Wukong in the top lane. Having the minions on his side and the armor shred, but it looks like Seth will have a bit more control in that lane, even still.
Yeah, and there, imagine if the Lulu actually got pulled into turret range. That would have been quite a spicy beginning to this lane.
Yes, luckily though for the side of Gotland Guardians, they avoided that a bit awkward fate, and it's just vibing a little bit in the bot lane.
Exactly, just warming up that bush for when the jungler eventually comes. I think it might be called off from until the Xin will reach down, but actually I think the Xin is going to, yeah, get the crab and then actually spot out the Viego, but probably nothing is going to come from this.
Viego
But
is a level higher as well.
Yeah,
So,
Viego opting to do all of his camps. Xin actually still has one camp to do, but that should mean that Xin gets a tiny lead starting off this. But probably Viego responding back with just taking the bottom lane crab instead.
indeed, and we can see that he's already pathing towards it, and Xin Shao, still doing Krugs, will probably not be able to be bot in time to contest it.
Exactly, but maybe Viego going for those juicy Krugs instead.
Krugs do give a lot of XP, and Scuffler has been nerfed a lot ever since they were like very strong in the jungle. So he might just decide that no, I don't want to fight Xin Shao right now, and he's maybe just gonna take his Krugs camp.
Yeah, especially since the side of Gotland Guardian's bot lane has the prio right now to try and come and defend their Xin Shao on the crab, but Viego actually looking for a gank here in the bot lane, and an early flash coming up from the Viego with the Graviton, and they might be able to pick her up there. Yeah, and Viego is actually able to last hit it as well, even with the ignite ticking. But here comes the Xin Shao, and Matthew actually doing quite a lot of damage still on the side of Weebs out. See, but actually the last auto attack from the Viego does manage to pick up the Jinx as well. So now we have a, in the end, 3-for-1 early, with only the Aphelios going down for the side of Weebs out, and the entire bot lane and jungler in the end going down for Gotland Guardians.
That's a really good start from the side of Weebs out, and especially getting this Aphelios really strong. It was a very nice flash to get the Lulu caught out with the Graviton stun as well. And eventually, I guess, Gotland Guardian thought they could maybe turn the fight and win, but unfortunately it didn't go quite their way.
Exactly, they might have just been better off with backing off and leaving that first blood. But yeah, we'll see how this early bot lane advantage does shake out. But Vladimir just like rushes forward to kill the Veigar, which was very low on mana, and now Malifaux on the Vladimir will be one up early in this lane against the Veigar.
And this is what's so scary about Vladimir as well. Veigar has a very hard time actually having too much pressure, as if he just cages, the Vladimir just says, oh, I press W. And oh, it looks like Sixture is trying to actually dive, but it misses the W and has to flash out. Or forces the flash out of the Wukong. But it looks like Viego is not quite done here in the top lane.
Yeah. But the mist is been put on the maybe the wrong wall. If he would have put it on the like red side top wall instead, he would have had more move speed up the side of it. But maybe that just takes too long still. So yeah.
Either way, the Seth makes it out with his life intact. Very even top lane, but it looks like Wukong getting that help from the jungler might be able to crash the wave into the Seth's tower before he gets too much farm. But we can see Gotland Gamers actually picking out the first dragon of the game.
Guardians.
Dude. The only thing I can see GG as is good game, so I think Gotland and then game, and then it can't be Gotland game, so it must be Gotland gamers.
How
But
about
yes,
Gotland good?
Gotland good. That's the good
Good Guardians.
good Guardians. But no, you're correct. Gotland Guardians. Picking up the first drake, which is an Infernal, and I do believe... can we see what the next drake that will spawn is? Potentially. It's gonna be Hextech drake, which means that we can get some very defensive souls. No really too offensive souls.
Exactly. But also that maybe being a tad bit behind on the bot lane, that Infernal Drake will probably help mitigate some of that damage. Is it 6% or is it 3%, 88 and...
I believe it's 5% now.
Is it 5%? They changed it around a lot, so... Can... does pressing tab bring up the scoreboard so you can cover the dragon producer?
You know, he can...
There we go. It's 4. Damn.
Yeah. Golden Guardians is also like a very good, good name, we can call them.
Isn't that a LCS2?
It is indeed.
Damn.
Well, yeah, we can see that the game has taken a bit of a slower turn right now, and it's relatively even in farm actually, minus the Malafor being a little bit ahead in the mid lane.
Exactly.
We might be able to see some conflict here versus the Xingqiao and the Viego.
Viego being there first though, but Vladimir won't actually get there in time. Vladimir or Xingqiao with an insane amount of burst and will actually trade that kill out, but I think that's very worth it still, since the wave is crashing for the Vladimir as well, and just a fed Vladimir is such a nuisance to deal with, since he's so slippery with that W. And actually another fight coming down in the bot lane. It seems like they will just trade out some damage on the supports. But actually, Mafpew with very low mana right now. But they will probably just, after this fight, just go back and try to reset this. But maybe... Oh! The very well-timed Viego art to secure that kill in the mid lane, taking one back for the side of Weebs out here. And actually Pilar being able, on the Wukong, being able to pick up the set as well. So now, still a slight, but it's only a slight kill advantage, since Gotland Guardian seems to be quite well off in the farm department, but maybe just waves being traded, since they are now up around 1,000 gold.
Yes, and that's a very good pick-off. It looks like that the Vladimir overstayed maybe just a little bit, and Viego manages to get a big hefty shutdown after that. And very nice solo kill from the Wukong in the top lane, which turns the game a bit more into Weebs Out's favor.
Exactly, but still, yeah. Oh, Xingqiao here. Viego roaming down. Xingqiao actually going over the wall, but there's quite a few people here from the side of
He's completely
Weebs
alone.
out. Yeah, and he can't really do anything. That's a nice try right there to just try and get that Viego back, but just goes down in the end.
That was a very huge overstep, and it was very odd that he decided to go that deep when he saw that his bot lane had recalled. Oh, it looks like the stream might have frozen a little bit, but that's just
or
temporary.
Maybe it was just us on our part, we'll see.
Yeah, but it looks like it is good now. But it looks like Vladimir is trying to go for a kill on the Veigar, but nothing comes out of it, as a well-timed flash keeps Veigar safe.
Oh, I think they paused the game for a second because of the chat. So I just think it was the pause countdown, since we are also a few seconds we're a few seconds behind from the start. So
Oh, a very nice flash by the Vladimir. Is probably going to be able to pick this Veigar up, but trades his life with the Viego.
Yeah, exactly. And now, oh, Wukong actually being able to trade that back, but should be going down to the Xingqiao right here. Yeah, and with the last Q going down,
This
they will be able to pick him up. Yeah.
Weebs out Dragon though.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
A lot of trade kills around the map, and as we can see after that whole big skirmish across the map, Weebs comes out a little bit on head with the dragon in the pocket, and we can see it's a mountain dragon that is on.
But another fight going down in the mid lane, but actually only the Lulu being berserked there since the Jinx needed to flash out. Quite a bit of damage being traded, and Viego standing around here, maybe trying to look for a dive, but will just back off for now.
Yeah, and we can see that after a few summoners spent a little bit more on the Jinx, but in equal two summoners from both sides, they are back to farming. Oh!
And I think with this, that's just what the Gotland Guardian wants, since they should, I think in general, outscale with the Vladimir and the Jinx, but like absolutely, or the side of Weebs out does not fall off immensely, like Viego and Veigar and Aphelios does not fall off like that hard, but I think Jinx might be a bit more of a hyper carry.
Yeah, and especially with that Lulu, that's going to be able to buff her up and make her very, very strong. While Aphelios can do a lot of damage, he needs maybe a bit more than a Renata, but the Renata is still a very new pick, so it could be potentially very good.
Yeah, quite a fight going down here in the mid lane, and actually Malfour just out healing the last bit of damage from the Primordial Burst there to actually survive and not. Oh! The Proto Belt on the edge just brings down the Veigar at the last second there. So now Gotland Guardian is actually being up in gold now, and that's quite a lot of gold back on the Vladimir as well. That's gonna be really scary going into the mid game for the side of Weebs out.
For sure, and I think Gotland Guardian is going to be able to pick up this Baron. Oh, that's a bit too early for that. The Rift Herald, but we can see that Vladimir is recalling, and he's doing it alone. He might actually be able to be caught here by the sides of Weebs out. And he's spotted by the Viego. And oh, the TP from Vladimir might actually put Viego in a very sticky situation.
Yeah, and needing to use the smite to get out there. Let's see if the Vladimir can catch up, and the Vladimir with the face rush, I think, got a bit of speed there maybe. But here is the Xingqiao again fighting the Wukong, but that might not be a fight that he wants to take, and actually just the clone dash trying to get on the same place and run over the wall. But the aggressive Gale Force right under the tower to pick up both the Aphelios and the Renata in the end there. Actually one of the kills going over to the Lulu, but that still shouldn't be a
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
issue here as
very happy about that one.
Yeah.
And they might be able to also get this Herald to dash twice, as or maybe Wukong is going to try and dive for it. It looks like they're trying to fight. The Herald does manage to get a charge up anyways, although they do pick up the set, and Xingqiao manages to flash over the wall to Lim. Or maybe he's actually taking a little bit of a weird path.
Xingqiao might actually be able to win this if he can get all of his cools down back up and dodge the W, but I think he should be going down. Yeah, in the end, and there's the Wukong as well, but in the bottom lane, the Super Mega Death Rocket will be able to pick up that Renata, and the Vladimir damage will also bring down the Aphelios, and now Gotland Guardians fighting and winning on the side of Weebs out should be able to pick up this turret as well.
And we can see that so many times when Weebs gets an advantage, Gotland Guardian is there to respond on the other side of the map or another place. And there's been so many kills placed in very good carries on the side of Gotland Guardians. Like we have Vladimir on 7 kills and Jinx, albeit only on 2, but now they've gotten a lot of towers as well. All outers are down and 1 inner in bot lane as well. That's a lot of gold that the Jinx has over the Aphelios. If yes, we can see 7,500 gold on the Jinx compared to 6,000 on the Aphelios, and a bit higher of a difference in the mid lane where we have 6,000 versus 9,000.
Exactly. And just like trading out the set, who's not as much of an integral part of the team, of course is still important, but I think just Xin Zhao and Set being a bit tanky, especially with the Death Dance coming out as well, I think on the side of the Xin Zhao should just allow him to live and just allow time for the Jinx and Vladimir to do what they want. But a bot lane roam here from Renata forces out the flash from the Zed as well. But yeah, the dragon back for the side of Gotland Guardians.
Every time. I feel like there can't be a good play on one side without the other side responding. We can see Vladimir is being a little bit caught out here. Will he be able to actually get out here?
Yeah, the flash forward with the second charge ult, and now Malefor is sure to die. And actually, the Lulu being caught in the event horizon as well, and with the primordial burst from the Veigar, they are able to pick up 2 back here, closing the gap a little bit back, and now the goal difference being back to 4k.
Very good cages from this Veigar, which really exemplifies such a key strength about it. Forcing the Vladimir W, but he can't use his power Q, and Xin Zhao trying to defend the tower alone did not quite work in his favor.
Yeah, and now Jinx being forced to flash as well here. They might be able to take the inhibitor turret here as well, since Gotland Guardians seem to have just like try and defend alone and being forced back instead of just trying to fall back and defend as 5 at the second tower in mid lane. But now instead losing all 3 towers mid in one single push. Not exactly optimal.
Exactly, and oh, this is a very defensive ulti. To be fair, it was really bad if they could have made a chaser, but they're just going for the Baron instead. And now without the Renata ult, that's gonna be really hard to actually contest.
Exactly, and the Renata actually recalling as well. Yeah, she's back in base here. I don't know if they intend to actually do this or if they just want to try and bait this fight out, and now it seems like they are just trying to force the fight. The Veigar should go down soon, but not before he's able to pick up the set back, and now the fight in the backlines is still going down, but here is Malefor still on that Vladimir with quite a lot of gold, and now only the Wukong remaining. Oh, the Renata is still up as well, but Vladimir with the triple kill during the Baron fight, and now it's Vladimir and Xin Zhao against the Renata, and they should be able to at least pick up this tier 2 tower and, yeah, gain a lot of gold back.
There was a very good fight for the side of Gotland Guardians. They eventually win out, but it was a very scary in the beginning as they have a very squishy front line, and after Xin Zhao, no, I believe it was Set actually that was chasing the Veigar, and I think Xin Zhao followed quickly after. The Jinx and Lulu were kind of collapsed on by the rest of the team from Weebs out, although the very, very strong Vladimir managed to still pull out a win in the end.
Now we're kind of reset, and a lot of summoners just went down in that fight, so maybe they'll just like try and farm back, do a bit of split pushing until all of those summoner cooldowns are up again to do another fight. But I think the next big objective should be the dragon. I don't know exactly how much is left. It's more than a minute since the like gray icon isn't up yet. Yeah, we seem to have slowed down quite a bit, for now at least.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get a bit of pressure, trying to get down their vision, and we can see, almost stealing the blue buff here, but they might get engaged on that. Very nice for Natic to make sure this is.
And the Xinjiao going into the backline, and now Viego is left alone, and actually the last auto attack follows on Viego to be able to pick that up, and the Xinjiao still left in the backline is able to pick up yet another kill, and the Viego is still caught in there, and there will be a double to Vlad, a double to Jinx, and yeah, Xinjiao being able to kill that on the back end.
Indeed, and that was a very good fight for the side of Gotland Guardians. They do immediately decide to go for the Baron, which they'll probably follow by a reset or maybe straight into Dragon action in order to be that step closer to getting the zone.
Yeah, I think there should still be like 40 seconds left on the Dragon, though I don't think they can pick it up immediately, but actually the TP coming up. Yeah, no, it was not a lot of time left. Yeah, the Dragon coming up now, and that will be the third Dragon here for side of Gotland Guardians together with that Baron buff.
Indeed, and that is very, very good for the side of Gotland Guardian. They're only one break away from the soul, and that's going to make them a bit more tanky as well, and considering that currently Weebs out are a bit gold starved, especially on their carries like their Aphelios and their Veigar. The Veigar is still doing a lot of damage, but Aphelios will have quite a hard time versus a Mountain Soul, I feel, as he still needs 1 or 2 items before he can really start doing damage.
And even the what's called the wit's end for the Viego as well, just trying to itemize against that lone AP damage on Vladimir. We'll see if that works out in his favor. But here, Xinjiao might actually be caught. The ult is coming down, and the Lulu is still here with the ult as well. Yeah, and the ult is up, but here is Wukong as well, and set in the backline. Xinjiao might be out here, but here comes the Vladimir. Oh, Vladimir's all the way in the backline, and just like 2 shots, 2 of the people from Weebs out, but actually still goes down in the end, being caught up by the Event Horizon, but the Jinx still on this backline. Jinx not being contested at all in this fight, just staying far back and being able to pump out the damage and getting excited over and over again. And now it's only the Wukong left here to try and defend for the time being, and I think this should at least be an inhibitor, and with the Jinx they might actually have prospects of ending this game right here, and I think they feel like they can do it. Wukong without ult does not offer a whole lot, but actually with the Aphelios and Renata being killed quite a bit earlier in the fight, they will be back up, so they should be able to defend here, and Gotland Guardians are just backing off.
Yeah, they're being a bit more careful here, because, well, throws happen quite easily, and maybe if they go for a bit too much more than they think they can handle, then the game will suddenly be turned on their head. Especially now that Gotland is the thing, Weebs would maybe be able to take a bit more tower and get a lot more control around the map.
Exactly. But now I think Gotland Guardians should just try and push the issue with them being so far ahead, almost 10k gold, so they should be able to just pick another lane. I think they should go top right now, since their wave is actually huge in the top lane, but that seems to be pushing on their own, and they have to send Veigar to deal with it. No, now they realize Vladimir actually with the teleport up still should be able to maybe split that bot lane in for a while. Now here a fight actually breaks out in the mid lane while I look away for 1 second, and the Xinjiao is actually just like diving the back end and getting 2 kills here, and now it's going to be really, really hard for the side of
Alpha almost going down, but not quite, and getting so much more healing now from the Lulu, I believe, and she used the mic.
The Viego is trying to do a last ditch attempt. Maybe he'll get the Lulu in the back here, but Lulu with the Sonias, and now they just suddenly just like picked everyone off by just like marching down the mid lane instead of getting any other inhibitors, and that will be game one for the side of Gotland Guardians.
Such a good game. It was very, very even in the beginning, but then the Vladimir just got so out of control with it.
We're back in the finals between Gotland Guardians and Weebs Out, and this is the second game. And SCL, of course, as always, sponsored by DreamHack, and we'll see if Gotland Guardians can close it out with a second win, or if we are to take it to game 3. So right into the draft, we see a Rengar ban, a Ivern ban, Nami, and Saya. This, of course, seems like Weebs Out are got a strong jungler that the Gotland Guardians are trying to ban out. So we'll see how they choose to play this one.
Yeah, and
Victor
Weebs out
also.
targeting the bot lane for the Gotland Guardians.
Nami, of course, being a very strong pick for the last several patches. Nami, Saya, Nami, Lucian, Nami plus anything is good in this meta, I think. We see the first pick, Jinx from Gotland Guardians. Very late game pick, and see if they can cover up this rather greedy, giving her early game pick with some strong frontline and some strong roamers. We'll see how they choose to balance this one out.
And it's interesting to see what support goes with her, as they clearly are focused on the bot lane.
Ooh, a Samira, that could be spicy. Samira, of course, being a top tier pick in this meta. Strong as ever, I think. Lulu, ooh, I would much rather see an Alistar, but I understand the Lulu. If they
Take it away from the Jinx as well.
Yeah, we saw Lulu being used to great extent in the last game, so I respect their pick to get her once again.
Yeah.
See how they choose to counter. I would like to see some either heavy peel or heavy engage from the Guardians.
Seem to be thinking long and hard about this one. And it's the Graves.
Graves locked in. So he's a strong jungler, able to bully the Weebs jungle, and let's see if they choose to match or simply concede the jungle pressure this game. The Soraka, okay, so they choose to go the peel route, it seems. Soraka, of course, being great against champions that love to dive in on the Jinx and able to provide ample heal. Seems like healing reduction overall would be very important this game, of course. Graves being able to go the lifesteal route, and Soraka, of course, with their ult cleansing all the healing deficiencies able to be put out by Weebs Out. And the Orianna, okay.
All right.
So it seems like Weebs Out were concerned about being banned out in this second ban phase coming up. So we'll see how the Guardians choose to counter.
I think we could expect some mid lane bans here from the red side.
I think so too.
Cart is coming out though.
Okay.
Is that towards mid?
Yeah,
or...
I would guess so. Graves, of course, being not as prevalent in the top lane as it was some patches ago. I would think that's a Cartus mid ban. And the GP ban, okay. Burst is one of the greater ways to get Samira down before a fight. If she's not topped off before big team fights, it is not going to work out. She needs to be 100% topped off if she hopes to dive into the enemy team and stack up her passive.
Yeah, of course. They seem to be going really hard for the team fights on the Weebs outside.
Yeah. We hope to see some great dragon control and setting up vision around the choke points and trying to take that win opportunity. The Hecarim ban and the Tsinsao ban with the suck insta-lock. Okay, now this is a team that likes to engage, let me tell you that. Weebs Out do not want to stand and wait around, they want to be proactive this game. Let's see how the Guardians choose to counter. So it seems now that exactly a stand comp would be great, and a Poppy is terrific against Sax, completely shutting down his signature ability with that long jump and the Samira dash, making sure that champions stand around a lot more, not doing as much dashing, and but she's a great way to eliminate great individual play. Just making sure that if you are to win a fight, it is because you have the gold advantage rather than the micro play. And Diana,
Then, Diana turn it off. I think that brings out some AP damage as well.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's enough though, but it should be.
yeah, of course, diving into a Diana is rather scary because once you go in, you're not coming out. You need to win it or you're losing it. That's for sure. And the show F insta-lock,
yeah.
holy moly, that's some
Going to
confidence.
tanker champs into the AD focused team could be a good idea, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it fares against the Poppy.
And we're off. Okay.
Let's see. Items seem pretty normal to me.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Welcome to
Exhaust, of course, on the Samira. Heal never been too good on her, given how much she heals herself. Barry coming in on the Soraka, realizing that the heal downside is more problematic than the upside of having an extra heal. And both AD carries going exhaust, which I think is correctly, given how much both teams like to dive onto each other. See Gotland Guardians predicting some sort of funny business in their jungle, of course taking very defensive positions over here at the red buff, making sure that they have no sack walking in and no Shugaf.
Also with the defensive ward, investing in just securing the red buff.
Yeah. So now realizing it's probably not gonna be anything, and top laner is walking back top. So Zac starting top side and Diana starting bot side, meaning they will probably look to have their first gank on the opposite side of the map. Now, I don't know about that. I think Diana perhaps will try to full clear and just farm up as much as possible. Of course, Diana 3-6 being revolted because of this very confident Graves in the mid lane. Perhaps being a little bit more punished from that than he'd like to.
As we talked about the champ select, of course, Zac wants to focus to see if he can get something out of this bot lane. Maybe shut down the Jinx even before she can get started.
Yeah. Okay, seeing some offensive plays from the Guardians here. Poppy being pushed back to the turret. Don't think it's quickly enough to get the Shiki back from the top side. Let's see what bot lane is up to.
And bot lane farming so far.
Yeah, pretty standard bot lane, I'd say.
Yeah.
Really focusing the shove here. I wonder what they're up to. It could be a sheet back coming out from the Jinx, perhaps getting a cool. Which yeah. Of course, resetting here. Let's see what they get. Boots, perhaps? Oh, nothing from the Jinx side. Yeah, there's the cool. Yeah. So she's looking on the long route here, not really wanting to fight as much as Samira perhaps would have liked. So great jungle efficiency from the Zac also, taking both camps at once, utilizing his W damage, being percent, and
UV, of course.
passive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So more scrapping in the mid lane. Orianna almost out of mana, but we have a gank coming in top line, but Shugeif is wary of his map and realized that his ward was not showing up on the map any longer. This puts him in kind of an awkward position because he needs to find if the Diana...
Looking good gank. And
Not
nothing
quite
much
connecting.
coming out of it.
Nope.
Graves was pretty aware and assumed a defensive position.
Yeah, but I think this is Diana realizing that she cannot just follow as we scrapping a little bit in the bot lane, but Diana realizing she cannot farm this game. She needs to be more proactive and be able to match Zac in the early aggressiveness he can put out.
Yeah. Just looking just to clear this and get some health back.
Yeah, you see this Zac coming in here,
Walking into the
charging
bot
up
lane.
C, Q into the minion, connecting, not really having the effect. Could she be out? Yes, she is. That's the power of the Soraka early game. Just
That's unfortunate for the Zac.
Yeah.
Investing the time and effort to gank.
but this is kind of dangerous because the Guardians, they want this wave, and
Yeah, they really want to shove that wave in
yeah,
to try to get the team back off.
more scrapping in the top lane. But it seems that Poppy has it under control. The
Yeah.
TP back, keeping the pressure on the Graves, I like that very much. And him
Not
of course
too
doing the same.
Yeah, not too much damage in top lane. That's yet you see that's the whole combo basically, and it's not really too much of an impact.
No. Okay, so both junglers realizing he's been caught and having to run back. He much prefer getting that big raptor, of course. Utilizing how much of a bully Graves can be in the jungle, especially against
Top
some
is
of the...
starting to get low though from all this poke.
Yeah, but she has teleport, so she'll be right back.
Yeah. But last Q was a bit close though.
Yeah, important for the Graves being able to pick up the Vamp Scepter early, which I think is very good against someone who's throwing up as much burst as an Orianna.
Yeah, get some sustain back in his lane. He seemed
Yeah.
to get poked down a bit as well before.
If she chooses to harass the Graves, he will easily farm it up, but we see them going for even more here.
Zac might
not
be going for something in mid here. Or just waiting it out.
just seeing if he can pick someone off.
Diana waiting as well.
Yeah, I think it was spotted on the ward previously, so Graves was well aware.
Then still farming, catching these waves.
Yeah,
Still quite even. I think Jinx will be ahead after this wave, but
yeah. Unfortunately,
only by a
for,
small margin.
unfortunately for her, not having that Moon Quiver is rather annoying, as it's a great item to have on the Jinx, but they seem to be holding their own. Really trading favorably into this Lulu Samira matchup.
Yeah, they invested heavily into the late game here with the Cull as well. So Graves investing in Magis as well to further limit the poke from the Orianna.
Yep. Just waiting for something in the fountain, and it seems to be another sword. Many swords in this man's backpack. Now the CS differential, I think, is starting to rack up in Oriana's favor.
all
Already
this-
shoving the wave in and getting some vision
Yeah.
control here in the...
All the poking paying off.
Oh, she's level 6. Are they looking to dive this, I think? Yes.
Could go for something if she can get ball on sack, but she's positioned on the other side. Yeah, that's it.
Diana coming in, can she do anything? Can Soraka even survive? No. It is a double kill traded in the favor of Weebs out.
That's really well coordinated. Orianna shoving the wave and then going bot together
Yeah.
with sack.
Yeah, Diana just barely being there in time and fortunately not being able to help her bot lane out.
So Gus does have ult there.
Yeah, he's flashing aggressively, barely
the Q
missing the
though.
Q. Yeah, unfortunate. But he's not finished here. He's gonna be knocked into a wall.
Ooh.
No!
Poppy missed the
He's
wall.
barely knocked into the entry to that alcove and able to
Close duel in the top lane. Yeah.
getting the wave shot in and a clean back on the Shogun. Just quickly spiraling into the control of Weebs out.
It's a bit hard for the Poppy to back out from the sugar if she gets that close.
Yeah.
As he can just cure and she doesn't have too much mobility.
No. Waves looking to establish some of that dominance by firstly clearing out the minion wave and here going for a fight. You should realize that Orianna does not have her ult, and the ult here could be something, but he chooses not to.
I think she just has a bit too much health.
Yeah. No, I
But
think
she has to
realizing,
and will lose the wave, I think.
yeah, realizing he can get a free push here and seeing if Zac chooses to do
Might
something
get a
about
plate
it.
as well.
Yeah, giving up his...
He gets away from the Zac. Or blue.
Yeah, but what's important is Zac really needs to start clearing his jungle creeps here. He can't simply be covering all the lanes just to keep turrets healthy. And his red buff and blue buff are still. As a bot lane breaks out in the bot lane, Jinx going low but choosing to turn anyways. Getting out of that, they have the level disadvantage here. As the Diana chooses to walk up, standing in the fog of war. Excellent choice here, showing that
The Grave still has a back in the mid lane as well. He's still pushing.
this top lane is back to fighting, and we're seeing them walk up here as Diana will ult her in. Lulu coming out, and the Soraka falling, but can Jinx get crazy, get Cuckoo Bananas, and pick this war support off? Yes, she
Double kill for Jinx. That's pretty big, right?
yeah. If she's able to get an early... as we see
Graves
with
might
Zac,
No.
not finding the
Orianna
same
is well.
success, or is he with the Graves ult coming out?
Orianna and Zac
That's-
not being on the same page here.
No, but
the
as he walks
Graves
into
He got a bit greedy for the kill on the Zac.
But Diana coming back though.
Just already
No
used flash,
W.
so... Oh,
That's-
the red buff.
Dead to the red buff, yes.
Ooh, that's huge. Now Samira is in a bit of danger if this Diana gets more kills. As she would be able to go on her easier in late game.
Yeah. As the game seems to be slowing down a bit. That was an intenseful last minute, I think. All the Gotland Guardians showing that they really can turn this game around, and you can't really count them out from the early game alone. As Diana chooses to not just slow the game down yet, she has another cast of her W. With the Poppy flash done into the kill. That's 5-5 going into 11 minutes of the game.
Still a little bit of the gold lead to the blue side and the dragon as well.
Yeah.
Picking up trading here in the mid as well.
But more importantly, I think the kills are on the Jinx and the Samira. So Samira dives in, chooses to be ult here, and can she almost pick her off? She goes golden as Jinx is trying to defend her, but should be defending herself as she's killed in the double kill. With the help of Zac. Mid laner scrapping it out. Graves being dangerously close to one shot here. I don't think she can get anything done, but she has her ult, not her flash. So we'll see if she's able to.
Wave.
Yeah, just scaring them off, I think. No, she's ulting in. Second W, she has no follow-up damage.
She might be dead.
Yeah. Stopwatch popped as she dies to the Samira ultimate. That's a triple kill in the favor of Weebs out. Just when you thought they were back to somewhat the same gold diff, they are able to pull this one out. Now almost 2000 gold advantage to the Weebs outside.
Will slow down the Diana as well. Quite heavily in the jungle here. She just camps up.
Yep. Zac also getting some breathing room, not having to gank all the time and feeling the pressure from the Diana. That is sure to be appreciated by him. Some BM in the top lane also.
Waiting for the wave to crash.
Yeah, almost wishing that the Zac would dive her. I don't think it's in their best interest to dive up with Poppy, so perhaps some tactical BM even.
I think the Poppy is starting to get frustrated with not being able to do much in the top lane.
Yeah.
Also not being able to help the team all the way down in bot.
See them having both teleports up and the Baron spawning the dragon rather spawning shortly. So we'll see if they choose to rotate down to try and assist their team in this.
It's moving down a bit.
Yeah,
Might just guard it for a bit.
importance of shoving in so early. You can rotate without teleport as Graves chooses to go in. Just a little bit of a scrap. But
Hit by the
miscommunication there. He's able to find the... He's not. As Graves goes down a couple of seconds before the dragon fight.
Will make it hard to contest this.
Yeah, I think they're just giving it up. Perhaps a 50-50 as Samira chooses to go aggressive here. Should be reaching her ultimate as Diana comes in. Almost popping the ult with both people in it. Soraka getting the shutdown and Diana getting the second kill.
Yeah, great work by Diana.
Let's see if
Maybe they
they
could.
realize that the dragon is up. Not moving in time, but still that's a nice shutdown to get on Diana.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they need in here. Something to be able to get rid of these fed people on the red side.
Yeah, and it seems that Poppy is not just finished, or is she? With the Shogaff. Of course, that slow being used to great potential to deny her the ability to get these long drawn out and scrappy fights that Poppy so desperately love. Of course, having the first item is a great advantage on Shogaff just having its boots and some more components. So I think she would very much like to fight here when there's a big spike in her favor. Graves moving up. See,
Taking the red buff.
yeah, that's some great counter jungling, realizing that Zac was probably still in his bot lane due to farming up after that Drake hit. Just barely able to see his red buff be taken from him. Furious, he walks back. Could he
Orianna
punish
though?
him somehow?
She can
Orianna has ult.
goes the wrong way, sadly. Dive, maybe?
Nothing coming out as Diana dives in with the moon ult. Being insane on the Graves mechanics. Diana will surely pick this one up. Yes,
Flash
that's a
Orianna.
shutdown for the Orianna. And the solo kill in the top lane, it is suddenly exploding in this one. It's been an even game so far, with small leads being normalized by the other team just stepping up to the plate. That's great to see in this.
Yeah, goal being mostly even now.
Yeah. Graves being able to punish that kill they got on the Orianna, almost taking the turret down on himself.
Item waste, I think Ying should be able to buy something soon, right?
Yeah, with Graves just being cheeky about it, really saying I want this turret before I go home.
Yeah, he's tried taking that many times now.
Yeah, realizing he's probably got more luck, just getting a big power spike and coming back. Bot lane continuing to just farm up, and the gold lead looking somewhat in Samira's favor. 6-6. Okay, so 400 gold lead in the side of Weebs out. Not too great, not too bad, but definitely something you would like in the Jinx's favor, given how much it needs to represent her team's damage. As you see, both junglers coming in here. Zac about to certainly meet up with this as Orianna...
The mid lane coming down as well.
Oh, the Orianna coming in, the Diana still having her ult, a triple ultimate. You see Jinx popping off about Samira going equally crazy. Can she get excited? They are so low, she wants to do this.
Graves coming in as well.
Graves coming in to assist his AD carry, and Zac just barely missing that Q. Now it's surely over, and Golden Guardians will take the fight, getting many shutdowns in their favor.
The Lulu escapes.
She's not long for this world, I think. Graves has a personal vendetta against the Lulu. That's something
Chasing
in the
her
last
down.
game. Yeah, he's not having it. And on top of that, the wave is his.
Chasing her all the way back to base. Still running. Getting out of
Still
that.
running. Okay, bro, go little brave Lulu. Getting this first bot lane turret is great, as you realize you can be the first one to rotate mid and try and accelerate this bot lane lead into tier 1 turret in the mid lane, I think.
And the Shogaff finally has an item so he can fight back a bit to the bars. Copy.
Yeah. I don't think we'll be seeing any more solo kills from the top lane, but I think we'll be seeing a great more scrapping. Just trying to keep the other person on their toes before objectives and denying them the opportunity to get a safe teleport down to the objectives. And choosing to take the big crab thing in the river.
Big
Was
guy.
realized
Turret has been
big guy.
destroyed.
Jinx actually walking bot side here.
Might want
Not-
to get the top tower with that.
Yeah. But what do you think about that? Jinx chooses to not push their lead and try and take the tier 1. Now why would that be, do you think?
It might be just that Poppy is comfortable top.
Well,
Trying to...
okay, I was thinking the bot mid sweep here.
The mid
Try
lane?
and yeah, get the
That
turret
might-
down and deny the Orianna her safety of tier 1.
Yeah, honestly, that might be a good idea.
As we see both teams sort of gathering around this
Setting up
mid
for
side.
Dragon, I think.
Yeah. It's the first Infernal Drake and of course Infernal Soul to whichever teams is able to collect 3 more Drakes.
Yeah, they got top tower with the Rift Herald.
It's his vision being swept down and seems to be the Guardians holding the pit as of now, but of course there's a lot of vision and that means a lot of Sacks able to jump into the fight. See if they can utilize this Orianna ball and Saki. See Zack up by the blue buff and it's a rush.
Yeah, no, it's
They're
fine.
able to rush it down.
Second charge on the Herald.
And unfortunately Shogat being locked up in the top lane, stuck with the Poppy who won't leave him alone. Let's see
Yeah,
if
it's starting
finds-
to look good for the Poppy here. Zack coming up
He's
there.
back hopping up and the dive into the Poppy ult to knock him right back. The TP will
Not
connect
cancelled.
unfortunately. But the
Graves
Zack
might
goes
be-
crazy here with his ultimate. Graves, surely he's dead here. No, he's not as he
The
pops his
Jinx ult.
ultimate. Now he's bullied, but the Soraka is here to assist him. Hope they're all connected into the Zack queue and it's looking rather poorly until
Jinx is here.
Jinx
Might
is here,
get
yes,
that
that's
thing.
what's correct. She gets excited here, I think.
Oh.
No! Wait, stop that, but is it enough? Certainly it isn't. Can the Zack even survive? He's
Yeah,
going into
passive.
blob mode, but she's also tanking the turret, so I think it's
Yeah.
a shutdown in the favor of Lulu.
She
Now
didn't
that's,
have the timer on the bot lane coming up again.
yeah, that's sad. Of course, the big shutdown being given to Lulu is not what you want, but I think you'd rather take it than not take it also, so...
Yeah.
See if the Guardians, once again, somewhat even in gold, even in kills, and somewhat even in dragons. This is an even game, I think.
Yeah, I still think anyone who can make these team fights happen would be the decider.
Yeah.
Looking at items, we have Bramble West coming out, of course limiting the healing as you talked about earlier.
Do we have any other items in? Could be something on the Orianna to try and apply a team-wide healing reduction, but nothing yet it seems. Going more into the damage route.
So for only Medic just to be able to pick out his grace, I think.
Yeah.
Medic and of course.
Jinx realizing that she's the one thing stopping Weebs out from going full tank mode, getting the tank killer item as her third choice rather than the Infinity Edge.
Seems reasonable going into these 2 formats soon.
Yeah. Poppy loving to scrap as always, chooses to back off instead going into the top side where she joins up with her team. Both teams just kind of posturing around here, waiting for the other to step up and challenge them. As Poppy is able to stun down the Shogat, but not much coming out given his ginormous health pool. I don't think, even in those situations, you're not fully comfortable walking up with the Jinx, given how much can jump on you and stun you and possibly kill you in one hit.
Still vision on the flanks here, so
Yeah.
that could be anywhere.
They're just prying, looking for any opportunity to steal the jungle, of course setting a lot of pressure here so Diana can just snag up the jungle, but the Weebs out say no thank you, that Gromp is ours. BM coming out, waiting for the minions to walk in. Zack just standing here menacingly, out of vision, showing himself almost asking them to back off and reset. Tower about to fall top lane. Unless Orianna is able to pull a miracle off. Gets it, gets out. As Zac joins in with the Orianna ult, missed Graves ult. Surely they have enough damage to do this, as Jinx ult misses barely and Graves is off. Siege continuing in the mid lane. As Diana chooses to pop her ultimate, Samira is going in, denying all the assistance, but also diving into the full enemy team. Almost punished, but the Poppy goes down. Now Shoga turns, and Jinx unfortunately leaving his poor support to get eaten by Shoga. Can she get out? I don't think so, given Oriana's great movement speed buff here with the W. Almost being a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, a little bit scared.
Yeah, Jinx still has exhaust also.
Yeah, seeming they just called Baron perhaps and said okay, we don't need her, we just want the Baron instead.
Not worth
Looking to accelerate this game. I think this is a great steal if they're able to pull it off, given how much the Guardians want to push with this team. Just set up for dangerous chokes that the Weebs out team needs to walk through. Graves being spotted out, surely I cannot do anything. Now hoping to get out with his life as the whole team Weebs out, dives in onto him.
Nice dodge on the shockwave.
Yeah, but trading it out for the dragon. With this Jinx, I think they'll have enough to burst it down and get out before anyone notices. So Baron traded in the favor of Weebs out, traded for the dragon and some kills. It's both teams hope to reset.
Of course, one away from Soul now. It could be dangerous, but Baron should still be quite useful here.
Yeah, and of course Inferno Soul being very scary on a team with the Jinx, but given how much tankiness there is on the side of Weebs out, I think they can survive it, but it would definitely be an uphill battle. Of course now, gold swing in the favor of Weebs out, given the, what is it, 1500 gold lead that Baron gives, and picking up some nice shutdowns just before that, so gold even out now. But it's not even, it's 200 gold difference. Neither of this team refused to win, and neither of them refused to lose. So we'll see how they choose to play this one out.
It's very close goal-wise, but we see a bit of a difference in the map state.
Yeah.
Orianna
being an Orianna problem.
Still with the Baron buff as well. Quite dangerous.
Yeah, Shogat walks in, Diana jumping in but choosing to walk it out.
They lack some wave clear though, so they're able to respond with tower mid.
Zac's got the arm bounced, but he has nothing to connect it to. Both teams just kind of posturing. The Orianna backing off.
Feeling like that was enough.
Yeah. Diana is looking here, she even has her flash up, so a flash Diana ult is on the table for the side of Guardians, but they're choosing to back off.
Probably just waiting out.
Yeah,
everything.
Exactly. And a team ace here would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
Diana barely passing by the Zac. Being spotted out by the ping here. Seems the cannon was stolen away by the Poppy, and Jinx not fully appreciating that, I think.
Some resets and checking the waves. I wonder if they are able to do something more with Baron buff.
Zac jumps in, immediately damaged by the... Oh, that's a great Gale Force used by the Jinx. Showing the utilization of that, as Shogat just doesn't care, he wants the turret, and Zac wants to dive in, knocked back immediately by Poppy ult. As Poppy herself goes down. Now the push is on its head as Weebs out. They want these turrets and they want these kills, as Diana goes in, not able to find enough people with that ultimate. Samira dashing in and getting the triple kill. That's gonna be a clean ace, I think, in the side of Weebs out. No, because the Graves is still alive, still has ultimate up, still has flash up. Can he do anything with this? I think they're too far ahead to be able to be stopped here. Perhaps saving the game.
Probably not too much more.
Inhib, but not the game, I think. Not the game.
Graves will wave clear. TP though, we'll try.
He needs to ult this wave if he wants to save the turrets. Instead
Copy
looting
support
Shogun.
4.
I think this can be a close one. Taken low by the Orianna damage as they just chose to rush this one down. They're not taking any risks. They want to get this game over with. Samira being dived in on
Samira.
field, but that's the game. That's the game.
Close base defense, but still wasn't enough.
That was something of a game, I'd say.
Really close.
And you drinking Dr. Pepper and like having books. I don't know.
I mean,
but I don't really have much more to say about
and that is fine because it looks like we've solved the draft phase issue. They're instead going to use another software, well, another site. So hopefully this will work now, and we can see that the Ivern and Sayaban are the same, and Nami and Rengar too. It looks like they won't be joining you to eat food in the bed either.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry.
They also banned Xin Shao.
Who won't be joining me to eat in the bed? Sorry, I missed the beginning of that sentence, and now I'm waiting.
And now we're wondering what the ban Gotland Guardian is going to ban here.
Okay, I'll just watch the VOD. It's okay. But yeah, Ivan, Rengar, Victor, and Saya, Nami, Xin Shao ban. Oh, the Orn insta-lock.
It is the Orn Horn.
Ornhub.com. Let's go.
Orn is a really good first pick here, and I kind of like it because it has such a good matchup into so many top laners. But we can also see a Karma first pick, from the first draft of Gotland Guardians. And Karma is a champion that I don't think is getting played. It's getting semi-regularly played, but I do believe she's very strong for the amount that people pick her. So I'm happy to see it being played here by Gotland Guardians and a Sion to try and respond to that Orn.
Exactly. Yeah, looks like a Senna might be picked here as well, even though the Ivan Rengar combo is gone.
And we can see they also pick Samira is a
Samira instead.
very wild pick with Lulu. Samira is traditionally not considered a very top priority, as she is very hard to play versus long range comms. She really wants to get into the action, and that's not always what an AD carry can do. And we can see Gotland Guardians picking that Karthus, which will be very, very strong, I believe, versus this Samira, as she can't really have an efficient way of dodging any of Karthus' abilities. Oh, and Now we're getting enlarge, zoom, enhance. So now we can see the pick ban face in even bigger pixels.
Bigger pixels.
Now the clarity is here. We can also see that Gotland Guardians has opted to ban Zac and Cillian, while both starting with Zed actually, which is impressive. And Weebs Out has banned Graves and Akshan. Akshan is a ban that I'm kind of surprised to see, because I don't think we've seen too much of Akshan presence in this game actually, in this tournament.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, sorry, I'm writing memes in the chat in the same time, so I'm kind of not keeping track of what you're saying, but very cool. I agree. Lucian comes out as the AD carry together with that Karma in the bot lane. Maybe a bit more conventional than Samira Lulu, considering Samira actually doesn't use that Lulu passive that much, but Lulu still being... Or Lulu passive? Is it the Pixie passive? I don't really know where the
Lulu
enhanced
passive.
enhanced auto attack, is that from the passive?
Yes, it comes from passive, and the passive follows whoever she uses her E on.
But yeah. Lucian Karma versus Samir Lulu, we'll see how that comes out. And then the Viego and Oriana. So yeah, quite a front-to-back comp, at least from Weebs out, and I think that Gotland Guardians also has a very quite standard front-to-back comp now as well, and we'll see if the Graves mid comes out, considering they have the Karthus jungle, or if it's going to be the Karthus mid lane maybe. It got pointed out to me that Graves is banned. So
Oi, oi, oi!
The Jordal Gunner, let's go. No, that's interesting. 1 minute, and it's actually going to be 1 second because we're in game right now. So can we get some chat spam for game 3 with your favorite team? GG for Gotland Guardians and WO for Weebs Out.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Let's go!
I'm reacting in advance. I can't see the chat yet. Now the chat is going.
We're getting some woes in the chat.
Minion spawn.
Dude, if you type WoW a lot of times, it looks like OO.
Thank you for this knowledge. And we can see a
We
pretty
see
standard
in the game that everybody's just covering the entrances to their jungle. There's not going to be another invade. I think, especially on the team of Gotland Guardians, they don't really have a whole lot to come with level 1. Maybe that Karma W route. Let's just look into this.
Yeah, the 6-shooter on the sign here, being very excited, as you can see, playing the third game, stomping on the ground. Excited to play into the very, very intense and hectic Sion versus Ornn matchup.
And we can see that actually both junglers deciding to start in the top lane, and actually Matthew and Menu going to stop the bot lane of Weebs Out in the tri-bush, so they'll have to go the long way around. And now Malifor is already in with the Hail of Blades, getting some early damage, and as well on the Karma with the enhanced Q on the Samira right there.
Yeah, and that's a lot of good early damage and a lot of early pressure as well. We can see that Doriana did opt to get cookies in as her secondary rune those, which makes her laning phase a bit easier when getting lower. We can also actually see that Samira started out with a longsword and a refillable pot, which is something I prefer, or I think that it's a little bit greedy, as you don't have the tanky stats from a Doran's blade, but you also don't have the free pots from a longsword start. Although it does mean that in the long run, they should give her more money in the end.
Oh, the Q charge is just being interrupted by the last tick of the Orn W right there. Let's see if he can get one up at least. Yeah, he does. Oh, but not the brittle. Oh, maybe no. In the end, just walks away from it. Oh, Tristana going in for a trade in mid and also a gank, possibly in the bottom lane. The Orianna already having quite a tough time dealing with this, and now the Viego down in the bot lane and the Lucian is already in there. The Zelensky on the Viego is quite low, and
Look at where Malphur is. He's trying to find the Zelensky and he finds him. The Guardian though might have just saved his life.
Oh no way!
A snipe from Lucian's W manages to get him just low enough for that explosive charge to finish him off. Double buff to Tristana mid lane is so good as well.
Yeah. Oh, the Lucian W, I think like one of the hardest skill shots to hit in the game, because it's just like so, most of the time so easy to sidestep, but he was so close and he couldn't run the other way. And just the last damage, I think it's like, is it like 70 base damage or something?
Yeah.
Just like secures the kill.
I do believe so, but we also see Ornn in the top lane getting a solo kill on the Sion. I thought it was gonna be a bit more of a relaxed top lane, but we can see that both of these players are out for blood.
Yeah, solo bolo in the top lane as pointed out by chat. But you know what we say when we die on Sion.
Good death.
Good death. So I don't think it's VP GG just yet in the top lane. Do I have any other? It's not a complete disaster yet, so. But actually might be a complete disaster as the Viego comes up here, and he will go down once again. Let's see if he can maybe get a kill back. But oh my god!
Oh lord. That is
Is there any sums up in bot? There is no heal. They have a really good chance to just get a dive in here. Oh, especially if that Q landed. But Lucian actually kind of out of mana.
yeah.
It should have enough for Q as long as it doesn't W.
We can see though that the Lulu was also going to, but without the Guardian they decided instead to maybe take it a bit chill and going for the early Drake instead.
Can you do the dragon if you just like die as Carthus and then you can Q it again? No, because it resets. I am
It depends on how much damage you have, I suppose, but in theory yes, but probably no.
But we'll see here. Actually, Gotland Guardians with a bit of a gold lead still though. Maybe with the gold picked up in the lanes now though, will even out a bit still. Still only like a 600 gold difference, so nothing exceptional, or not an exceptional lead so far for any of the teams.
Yes indeed, it's just gone back to being a bit relaxed. Most of the lanes are quite even in farm, but we can see the jungler and the bot lane edging a little bit towards Gotland Gamer's side. But we can see the Viego trying to sneak up into the bush and look for something, but Tristana is also going to explore the possibilities of bot lane, but decides that that was not their time. We're re-engaged from the Karma, and that is going to be a dead Samira, but not before trading.
Yeah, and now here comes Malphur as well on the Tristana. I don't know if they want to do this. Oh, oh, the plating is like. But here is the engage in the top lane as well. Call of the Forge God coming down on the Sion. The W is back up, and the flash in from the Ornn. Flash is still up for Sion.
He just flashed to try and land that Q, but I do believe this is a very tricky situation that the Sion is finding himself in.
He gets the Q off though. Oh, and does that deal damage?
no, it does not do damage, but he did get knocked back by its spawning, which procs Brittle, which does damage.
No! Oh my god.
Quite unfortunate for the Sion top lane, actually.
That's... As you would say, that's wild.
That is a little bit wild and a little bit spicy. A little bit unorthodox. Although we can see that the Ornn is eating quite happy in the top lane, being up 3 kills, only one of them with the assist of the jungler. But we can see on the flip side of that whole deal that the Karthus is doing super well. Almost 500 gold more. That's all. This math is really bad. Don't trust me for doing math. And we can also see him trying to invade and maybe even extend that lead further.
Oh, but the flash on the shockwave, and now Zelensky is quite low. Will need to ult over, and I was going to say maybe Malphite does the flash over, but now he's in a pickle, one might say. Ults the Lulu back. Oh no! The team is there! And Malphite will live, and the Lucian will pick up the kill on this Samora. Samira? Did I say Samora? I don't know. This is going to be interesting. The top lane seems so far to be the only quote-unquote issue for Gotland Guardian so far. Oh, the smite on the medium-sized Kraken might actually pay with his life with 7 or 6 HP.
Survives.
Yeah. But as we know, good deaths do indeed happen in top lane, so we'll see how this falls out. Almost a 3k gold lead right now for the side of Gotland Guardians, even though the kills are matched so far. Yeah.
We can see the Sion is, even though having died 3 times, he's still keeping up in farm. I do still think he's quite a bit behind in gold. But it's not as bad as it could have been, as Sion also still gets stats just from killing minions, which means that it's not necessarily a gold deficit that Sion is actually in. It's just that a lot of the stats is in HP instead of item.
Look, actually matched exactly one-on-one to farm, but now the Ornn is roaming down mid. Malphite may be looking for something here. Oh, actually goes over with the W, the E is on, but the phase rush and the vision will probably let him down right there. Oh, the cancel! With the Call of the Forge God on the to stun a W right there.
It looks like Lucian is trying to look for something, and a lot of damage out with that Requiem. Looks like they're actually gonna have to back off for this dragon, even though they're a person up.
Yeah, the TP is still up for the Sion right here, but actually Orianna might actually just go down from like Karthus auto attack, but the Karthus right there, now being taken over by the Viego passive, that you get the Karthus passive from being the Viego is so troll.
It's so good. As we saw, both of the Karthus killed each other and then decided to continue killing each other in death.
Yeah. But actually, this was a... No, it was a 2-4... No? Did Malphite go down? No, it was a even trade, right? And actually, quite a lot of plates going down in the top lane, so that should have been a gold increase. And yeah, now you can see they're ahead by 4,000 gold after that exchange. Yeah. Even though they got caught out.
And as we can see, it's the cowards, sunscreen cowards, as he is fleeing the scene. It does save his life though, and he doesn't give another kill to Ornn, and starting to actually creep ahead slowly in farm. Finish that hull breaker, and this should be a lot more manageable.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Actually, I just noticed the Ornn has unsealed spellbook. Is that a thing? Do you unseal the spellbook on Ornn?
Yes, it's quite common actually, as it gives one a little bit more possibilities during the game, and it's not always the easiest to proc grasp. There's a lot of players, pro players and such that do it, but I do believe that in a more solo queue environment you might just opt for grasp for that stronger laning. But yeah, it's not everybody that does it, of course, but it's absolutely a thing. But it looks like here that Sion is going to get ganked by the Viego, and this might be a very tricky one to get out as his team is very far away.
Now, with the calling, the Lulu will go down. I also almost called him Malphite, but actually it seems like the Samir will go down as well, and Art the Director just like takes us over to the other side immediately. Call of the Forge God will actually be procced once, and Science goes down as well. Viego getting to that Sion form, and now we have double Sion form.
That's an ace on the side for the side of Gotland Guardians
Oh
actually.
my god, they actually just aced them.
That was a really great Q by the Sion, managing to stun both of them and giving the Carters actually time to get out there, and which eventually leads to Carters killing both the Ornn and Viego.
And now the red buff getting taken away as well. So, yeah, very interesting game. An 8k gold lead at 15 minutes. That's going to be hard to get back from, I feel.
It's also very hard that if we can look at the gold graph more accurately, or the gold that each player has, we can see that the Carters has amongst the highest gold in the game, and he is very inflated, and a Cartus that is so strong so early is a very difficult thing to come back from, as he can just press his ultimate and do a big chunk of damage towards the enemy team. Oh, I just realized as well, a Cartus being this far ahead with the rune that is going first strike will allow him to get even more gold from the first strike when he ults, which will in turn allow him to get even stronger, even quicker. So it's very snowbally from here on.
Actually, we see double exhaust from 2 AD carries going down, but it's actually mid laner and AD carry right here. But Samira's getting taken down as well. But I don't. The issue with that is mostly that the Samira is missing the farm right here. I feel like the gold that Samira gives isn't that high anymore. So for the time being, getting interrupted right there, and actually the Herald will secure the tower in the end, but I don't think that they'll get another proc off.
This
But now
side
with, yep.
so tanky now, and it's gonna be really hard as a lot of the members are very strong, but it looks like
Oh, no way! That's actually one of the sickest. That's one of the sickest Gale Force I've ever seen. And the Liandry's Torment from the Carpus Requiem actually gives Tristana the reset to be able to jump in once more and secure the other kill for the Carpus as well with another Liandry's Burn.
yeah, that was really huge for the side of Gotland Gamers, because they sent 3-4 people to the...
Guardians. Yep, they sent 3 or 4 people too. Yep.
At some point, they're going to be named Gotland Gamers, and I won't be wrong, but that won't be today.
Time to switch to universities.
Yes.
Gotland.
That is actually my plan. I am leaving everything currently to pursue a career in changing Gotland Guardians names to Gotland Gamers, only because I am very dumb. But what is not very dumb is getting 3 Drakes at 17 minutes, and it looks like Gotland Guardians will actually be able to secure this one without any major issues. It's very hard for Weebs out to actually get any wards and get any pressure, because they're so far behind. It looks like they might get punished for trying.
Oh, the cooling. Oh my god. The cooling.
That was the Viego going down, and it's a very different scene that we're seeing in top lane. Now they're sending 4 people in order to try and kill the Sion instead of just him getting solo. But it looks like they are going to eventually kill him. Not before he gets to smack the tower a little bit.
Oh, but he actually gives the...
The Ludo ult was a bit ambitious there, I feel. But I think they're content on probably giving up their mid inhibitor and possibly even their bot tower.
Yeah, I don't really think, as you had mentioned before, that taking the inhibitor right here, I don't know if it's actually value, because it's just being open when you get a teamfight win instead is much better, and not giving the gold that the inhibitor gives you with increased super moves. But actually a fight breaking out right here with Tristana going very deep at the Karthus is just right here, and will actually pick up the Lulu as well on the Leandris burn. Is this the beginning of the end?
But it does die in the end, and it looks like it may very well be, as we can see that they're trying to knock on the Nexus towers, but I think the Orianna here will be able to hold them up for just a bit longer. Looks like they're gonna lose their top tower, and I do believe that this might have been a bit of an early inhibitor to take. Oh, there's a fight going on.
They pull. Oh, and unlucky timing right there. That's really hard. Might actually Bow's special this tower, yeah, or no? Bow's special the inhibitor.
And I do believe that while I don't really agree with such an early inhibitor, it is late enough so the Baron can spawn and they can use the pressure, and if they're getting all free, then it becomes less of a thing where you get more gold and more of a can we actually clear all the waves. And I do believe that currently the side of Weebs out are so weak they actually can't clear well enough versus the empowered double wave of creeps. But if they do not finish soon, that's gonna be a lot of gold that Weebs out has gotten just because they took some early inhibitors. Although the inhibitors should all be down for soul point, which is the Hextech soul, and that's a very, very strong soul, as it's Infernal Soul, which is a lot of damage, but it slows instead of and doesn't do as much damage. But it's still a lot more damage than the other dragons, which when you're so far ahead, it's going to feel really good for Gotland Guardians. And I actually said it right this time.
Dude, personal development.
This is the most I've ever developed. I have never been a part of this development before. Just as currently I am not being part of developing this Baron buff for Gotland Guardians, but it looks like it's going to be uncontested as Weebs out has too much minions in their base to deal with.
And actually a Requiem coming down. Oh my god! That's actually insane. And Malifaux just waiting over the edge here might be able to kill Zelensky right here, but oh my
Did not
god,
get the crits that he needed, but it looks like
so low.
This might just be game, as there's just too many minions.
Yeah.
Very nice exhaust from Malifaux, and I do believe that we will be seeing Gotland Guardians taking the first place in SCL 22. Or maybe not.
Or are they? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Very-
maybe? Or,
Very well, good last effort from Viego, although not enough, and we can see that Gotland Guardians has been the winner from on SCL 2022. Congratulations.